This year, we've seen a string of failed human smuggling attempts by land and sea, some turning deadly. The new warning federal authorities issued to migrants about trusting smugglers with their lives.
The family of a missing Chula Vista mother takes their fight to see her children to court. What they say is standing in the way of visiting their grandchildren.
Plus, the county's new partnership with the Padres to encourage more people to get vaccinated.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
More than 100 migrants have lost their lives this year from nearly 200 failed human smuggling attempts around San Diego. And now federal authorities are pleading with those looking to cross into the U.S. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Lindsay Pena. This video is from the most recent smuggling attempt this weekend in Mission Bay. 17 people taken into custody. No one lost their life, but we've reported on several smuggling attempts that turned tragic in just the past 2 months. ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo is joining us live with what federal authorities have to say about migrants trusting smugglers with their lives. Laura.
Lindsay, the message was don't trust those smugglers that are attempting to bring people into the country. The U.S. Attorney was joined by Border Patrol, CBP, Coast Guard, and lifeguard officials saying that in the last 3 weeks alone, 4 people have died trying to enter the country and dozens have had to be rescued. Officials provided several examples they say show the dangers of trusting smugglers, citing the Panga boat crash off the coast of Point Loma in early May that killed 3 people. The suspected smuggler in that case is facing charges of attempting to bring undocumented people into the country. Another example they gave was the crash in Imperial County back in March that killed 13 people. Officials say the smugglers will be prosecuted to the fullest extent.
They will direct you to hike in remote areas in dangerous weather conditions without adequate clothes, food, or water. They just want their fees. Smugglers care only about maximum profit.
Now, according to the U.S. Attorney, there has been a dramatic increase in attempted human smuggling cases all across the southern border and the waters. They say they hope this message resonates and that migrants will not put their lives in the hands of smugglers. Reporting live, Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
Chula Vista police have been interviewing more people, writing more search warrants, and reviewing new tips in the case of missing mother Maya Millete. Next week will mark 5 months since anyone has seen or heard from her. As ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala explains, court documents also reveal Maya's parents are now calling for visitation rights with their 3 grandchildren.
The search for Maya Millete continues. The Chula Vista Police Department is working with the DA's office, FBI, and NCIS to find out what exactly happened to the mother of 3 who hasn't been seen since January 7th. Wednesday, Chula Vista Police releasing their bi-weekly investigative update, saying so far they've interviewed 61 people, written 42 search warrants, reviewed more than 85 tips, and conducted searches in the area of 500 Hunt Parkway in Chula Vista, which is near her home on Paseo Los Gatos. In the meantime, a family court petition was filed in Chula Vista. Maya's parents explaining that they've had a very close relationship with her 3 kids, their grandchildren. But since Maya's disappearance, the parents say her husband, Larry Millete, has cut off all communication between them and the children. The documents go on to state that they've tried to informally work with Larry to come up with reasonable visitation and communication with the kids, but there's been no response to their requests. They say with the disappearance of their mother, the children need all the sources of stability, love, and support they can get. The grandparents now asking the courts to get involved, requesting that the 3 kids be in their care on alternating weekends each month, or at least one weekend a month. In addition to that, they want to be able to video chat with the kids once a week. Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
Just about 30 minutes ago, ABC 10 News did hear from Larry Millete in response to the grandparents requesting visitation rights. He said, in part, "This is just another form of harassment intended to cause our family more harm. As you can see in their past actions, they have no regard for our family's well-being, let alone our children's welfare. They have ulterior motives. My kids are well taken care of."
San Diego County may break through into the yellow tier next week. That announcement came today during the county's weekly COVID update. The move easing more capacity restrictions, and it would come just 1 week before the state's tier system is retired and all of California will fully reopen.
Informal gatherings, again, can increase. Private events can increase. Indoor seated events can have increased capacity. And I just want to note that if you have a vaccine verification or testing verification, you can even go beyond these totals that are there.
The county also announced a partnership with the Padres to encourage vaccination. 100 pairs of Padres tickets will be raffled off among those who get vaccinated tomorrow through the end of the month. And here are the latest numbers on coronavirus in San Diego County. There were 42 new cases reported today. That brings our total to more than 280,000. Unfortunately, 3 days without any new deaths. The county reported 4 more deaths from the virus today.
One of the most important questions facing scientists right now is how long immunity will last after people are fully vaccinated. Researchers at the La Jolla Institute for Immunology have launched a study trying to find a definitive answer. They're looking at the 4 leading vaccines: Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and Novavax, along with people who have natural immunity to the virus. Volunteers will give blood samples several times over the next year. Looking at the antibodies and T cells in each sample will show how long each type of immunity lasts.
Even if we can get sort of 1 month, 3 month, 6 month time points, we can really get a decent estimate about what's probably going to happen for several years.
The study will help the CDC set guidelines for everything from booster shots to mask wearing. Our ABC 10 News reporter Jared Aarons is taking part in the study. If you're interested in participating, we put a link to the La Jolla Institute on our website, abc10news.com. You can also find the latest coronavirus developments, from vaccine rates to reopenings, on the ABC 10 News app. Find it for free in the App Store. Investigators have released images that they hope will help catch a hit-and-run driver who killed an elderly man. That crash happened in March along East 8th Street in National City. Police say 81-year-old Leonardo Alcantara was crossing the street that night when he was hit by a car. He died at the scene. Today, police released these images from surveillance video. They say that's the hit-and-run driver's car. The images are blurry, but if you recognize anything about the car, call National City Police or Crime Stoppers. They're offering a $1,000 reward for anyone with information that leads to an arrest.
Investigators continue to search for a motive in the deadly workplace shooting at a fire station outside LA. An off-duty firefighter stormed into the station, killing one of his own colleagues and critically injuring another. Our affiliate in LA reports the suspect was apparently involved in an ongoing dispute with a co-worker. Investigators have not confirmed that. Friends, family, and fellow first responders remember the victim, 44-year-old Tori Carlin, a 20-year veteran firefighter specialist, a husband and father.
When it comes to being a father, when it comes to being a fireman, when it comes to being a mentor, there was nobody that could parallel that.
A 54-year-old fire captain was also shot. He's in critical condition after undergoing life-saving surgery. Investigators say the suspect barricaded himself inside his home, which he then set on fire. He was later found dead by suicide.
The state of California will pay nearly $2 million in attorney's fees after settling a lawsuit with the Chula Vista Church. South Bay Pentecostal Church sued the state last year over restrictions on indoor worship services. The state enacted the restrictions to limit the spread of COVID-19 as cases surged. The church called it a violation of religious liberty. The case went all the way to the Supreme Court, which sided with the church.
In an effort to help San Diego families, county leaders are proposing a plan for millions of federal COVID relief dollars to pay off youth sports fees. As youth sports organizations look to rebound from the pandemic, they're finding that many families simply can't afford to play this year. And depending on the sport registration, fees can start at about $100. That doesn't include the extra costs for equipment, uniforms, and field maintenance.
It's become a choice for many families to be able to put food on the table or to pay the fees for your sons or daughters to play sports.
Supervisor Jim Desmond is asking the county to allocate $10 million from the American Rescue Plan Act toward a program that pays for youth sports fees. Tonight at 7 o'clock, we'll look at the many other options county leaders are exploring to ease the financial burden that many San Diegans are facing right now.
A Native American-owned brewery in San Diego County will get the chance to pitch its beer to Walmart later this month. Rincon Reservation Road Brewery was one of 1,000 small and medium-sized businesses chosen by the retail giant for its open call competition. In 4 weeks, the brewery will try to sell Walmart on selling its beer, either at some local stores or nationwide. Reservation Road says it is the first and only certified Native American-owned brewery on tribal land in Southern California. It's located off Valley Center Road at Harrah's Resort.